George, a really disappointing night on Friday night. Now you've had a chance to look back at that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was really disappointing. It's not been a fun day today, but I think ultimately we played really well for 50 minutes. Played some of our best rugby, arguably, against a very good team, probably the best half of rugby we've played, and then, Bath overpowered us in the last 30 minutes, and it was pretty embarrassing and a tough watch back.
And how are things this week then? Because I guess you just have to keep moving forward and keep believing that there. Obviously, you mentioned there was some good things in there, and you just got to keep building on those, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do. I mean, we've had a good look at some breakdown bits. Some tackles, some bits where we feel we let ourselves down, and like I say, got overpowered at the back end of the game there. But there was some really good stuff. There was Santi coming back into the team. I thought him and George connected really well. There was some really good attacking play. There was some, the set piece was actually pretty good. Which hadn't been for a couple of weeks. So there was lots of positives to take out of it. As I say, that last half an hour, unacceptable by our standards, and we've been very honest about that. And I think, we've got a nice long week now. We've got plenty of time to address it, train it, and make sure doesn't happen again.
Yeah, we touched on those internationals coming back last week. How nice was it to have them back in the team?
Yeah, it was great. I thought they really ripped into it. Like I say, there was a new structure for them to play in, and they slipped in and did a really good job. And again, those guys are some of the best for addressing issues, and it was really positive. Some of the conversation I had with them yesterday around what needs to get better.
Yeah, I guess with those internationals coming back, you get some real leaders back in the team as well, don't you? Which is always helpful.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it definitely, their energy, their experience, their passion and drive definitely helps. And like I say, some of the conversations yesterday with those guys was very driven, very motivated, very hurt by what happened on Friday night, and very impressive the way they spoke.
And with that in mind then, despite what happened last weekend, there's plenty to look forward to going into this weekend, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty of the Premiership. It can be rough and harsh, but you've got to get ready and you go again the weekend after, and there's an opportunity to state your claim and put your best foot forward. So I think that's something we'll move on to. It's still pretty sore right now, and it should be, but yeah, after today we start getting ready for next weekend.
Yeah, and Sandy Park is a pretty tough place to go, so the boys must be really motivated to go in and put in a big shift down there.
Yeah, it's a really tough place to go, and their first 3 games have been at home have been pretty electric, and they've done a great job. So, the challenges don't get any easier. There's no easy games, but again, we're pretty sore, and we need to focus hard on this and go somewhere, as you say, that they very rarely lose. But we've got to rip in. We've got to meet the physicality. Again, we'll get to that tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll obviously be focusing on yourself, but what have you made of Exeter's start to the season so far?
Yeah, well, like I say, their first 3 home games have been outstanding. They've probably had the best 3 home games of any team in the league. So, Rob's done a great job. He's sort of reinvigorated, and they let a lot of players go last year and brought a few through, and they've got a lot of experienced heads out there as well. So there's a pretty good balance. So they've had a great start to the season.
Cheers, George.
Thanks.